Bitcoin has broke above $70,000 and is now well on its way to 72K. Will we see a new all-time high this week? And can Fetch AI reach $13 after their latest merger? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, do not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Good morning, bulls. We have a very bullish morning here today. We're starting off pushing right into the highs here at almost $72,000. We're coming right up into resistance, which we marked out yesterday in the TA video. We have a big resistance here between 71, we're pretty much where we are right now, 71.5, all the way up to around all-time highs at around 73,800. This is our biggest zone of resistance. And you can see every time we've come up here so far, we've wicked into it and then we've come back down. Obviously, we think this time is going to be different as we've started to make these, higher highs and higher lows. So we are looking good on the high time frame in that sense. But it is something to watch out for as we are now coming into this major point of resistance. There's probably going to be a lot of people selling here, so there might be a short squeeze through this. But we have to be careful as we're coming into this major area of resistance today. But other than that, I mean, the whole market is looking amazing, and it's very everyone's just happier as the numbers go up and everything's green. So going into it, is Bitcoin headed for the perfect storm to new all-time highs according to Bitfinex? So Bitfinex says Donald Trump's chances of winning the presidential election, combined with historically bullish market conditions, could be the perfect storm of price action that could push Bitcoin to an all-time high next month, according to Bitfinex. Next month is only a couple days away now. So the convergence of election uncertainty, the Trump trade narrative, a favorable Q4 seasonality create the perfect storm for Bitcoin, promising an exciting period ahead regardless of noisy price movements heading into the election in 2 weeks' time. So that's exactly what I said yesterday. We don't know how it's going to play out, if it's going to be choppy, all the way up. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure we'll have fake outs. We'll dump, $3,000, but then come back in the next hour. I'm sure we'll have all that kind of choppiness going through here, because even if it was an election, when we do hit new all-time highs, there's usually a lot of volatility, and they try and get traders out of positions before heading to new all-time highs. So we have to watch out for that. But ultimately, we know after the election and after the new all-time highs, we will be heading up. It's just, a matter of how we get there. If it's clean or if it's very messy, like I expect it to be. So at current prices, Bitcoin is only 3.5% away from it reclaiming its all-time high of 73,700, which happened in March this year. In explaining Bitcoin's strength, analysts noted intensified Trump trade narrative, saying the correlation between upward price action for the crypto market is predicated on a Trump victory on November 5th. Currently, I mean, this is Polymarket, like we've been saying. Trump has a 66% chance on Polymarket, which is very crypto focused. So people are betting on that. And Bitcoin's upward momentum has also come amid record open interest, reaching an all-time high of $41.7 billion on October 29th, reflecting a massive appetite for leverage exposure. That's one thing we want to watch out for. We never want to see leverage ramping up into the highs, because usually it's a sign that we could get wiped. Usually we want to see spot buying lead us to new all-time highs. And so that's why there's usually a lot of volatility at the top, because everyone gets super excited. They add a bunch of leverage positions, and then we wipe, $3,000 in a single candle, and everyone gets wiped out before we ultimately head back up to all-time highs. So we got to watch out for that today and over the next couple of days as well. But other than that, it looks pretty great. And surprisingly for Bitcoin heading to these highs, there's not that much news going on today. There's really not much happening. We've seen this before. Solana flips Ethereum in daily fees, surpassing 2.5 million 24 hours. So Solana, it seems like every other day is surpassing Ethereum in some kind of metric, and today it's surpassing Ethereum in daily network fees generated. Solana has generated $2.54 million in fees during the last 24 hours on October 28th. So Solana is continuing to see its DEX volume surge, even though it is cheaper. It is surpassing in fees, which means there's just a lot more volume going on in Solana. Solana is often referred to as the Ethereum killer, and I think we're definitely going to see that this cycle as well. Although I think Ethereum will have a comeback play in the next couple weeks or so. We'll see it surge at some point, but compared to Solana, I don't think it's going to do quite as well this cycle. Now, the degen meme coin trading drives 47% of Solana's monthly fees, so nearly half of Solana's revenue is come from activities related to meme coins. Whether that's good or not, there's a lot of traction on Solana, so it's good to own Solana is basically what I get from that, and I'm always looking to buy spot Solana anytime I can. So more than 47% of Solana's monthly revenue was driven by transactions on Launchpad Pump.fun, which contributed to about $29.5 million of Solana's $61.7 million fees over the past month, which is just absolutely insane. And we can see this too in Solana. Like, of all the coins, Solana had the strongest, comeback after this recent dip on October 25th. So after this dip, it was the fastest one to come back, and it's been the strongest horse in the past, couple of weeks, but also in just the past few days after this dip. We've seen Ethereum, it's come back a little bit, but compared to Solana, it's broken through its recent highs before that dip, and it's holding as one of the strongest coins. So Solana is one I'm going to continue to be betting on this cycle, and the Solana ecosystem as well. Then we have Fetch AI. Fetch AI has recently completed its network upgrade, and Fetch's price reached $13. Keep in mind, Fetch is $1.30 right now. So can Fetch 10x? It's possible. Fetch AI has successfully completed its network upgrade under Proposal 33, marking a pivotal moment for the decentralized AI-focused platform. And the upgrade seamlessly integrates the Fetch AI mainnet with Kudos network, merging all Kudos tokens and staked assets according to predefined token ratios and a 3-month vesting schedule. So they've now brought on a fourth AI partner that is merging in with Fetch AI, or the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, or ASI. So the integration of Kudos mainnet in Fetch AI brings new interoperability and functionality to the Fetch AI ecosystem. By merging with Kudos, Fetch AI has broadened its decentralized compute capabilities, allowing for more efficient and scalable AI blockchain-based applications. So now, as we see, it's now forming, the fourth partner to join the merger of AI. And so it is possible we could see, Fetch and other AI tokens, surge along with NVIDIA in Q4. And with more and more partners coming into this, and more ecosystem partners joining, I could see this going to what would need to be at this point. It would need to be probably to 10x from here. It would need to be a $34 billion market cap. Not saying it's not possible, but it's going to take a little bit. But yeah, it's already one of the biggest AI market caps. So if we're going to get this to $13, we're going to have to see this at $33 billion market cap. Definitely possible. Fetch is looking great on the high time frames. On the daily chart, we've now used this. We've created a higher low here, which is amazing. We've wicked into this little bit, this area of support, this order block, and so now we are heading back up. This looks like a great chart and a great structure on the high time frames. So overall, looking pretty great. It's not somewhere you would want to enter a trade right now, because we are coming into a bit of resistance here. So it's not somewhere you want to open a trade directly, but if we do consolidate around here, this is a great area if we wanted to take a trade, put it under the lows here, and target these next this next area of support around here. So if we do have a bit of a sell-off, which I expect we will at some point for Bitcoin, if we come back down here to around $1.24-ish, it's a great area to try and trade this for the midterm, back up to $2, because I think Fetch AI can do big things as well. And also at the same time, Fetch is making strides in cross-chain interoperability through its recent partnership with Injective. So it's doing big things. Fetch AI, I can see, heading to $13 is just going to take a while. Then lastly, we have Toncoin grows 210 times faster than Ethereum. Can Ton overtake ETH soon? They're pretty much doing the same in terms of price action, so we'll have to see. So which coin between Ethereum and Toncoin has more potential? Both are considered attractive to investors, but a recent crypto quant analysis suggests that Ton will likely surpass ETH in terms of holder count. The bold claim was made by Martin, which was based on the average rate of growth that Ton kept over the last few months. According to the analysis, Ton averaged 500,000 new followers every day, and for the last 4 weeks. The network is set to overtake Ethereum towards the tail end of December if it maintains this pace. So we can see here, the total number of Ton addresses on the 26th of October was amounted to 113.71 million addresses, and 93.18 million of them had balances, while the remaining 20.54 had a zero balance. So for context, Ton had 3.63 million total addresses exactly 1 year ago, hence the total address gain of 3,032%. And in contrast, Ethereum had 309 million addresses, a significant improvement from the 270 million 12 months ago. So with this 14.42% year-over-year growth, this means Ton's addresses grew 210 times faster than Ethereum's addresses. It's hard to compare because Ethereum's obviously been a lot bigger, and Ton was the big ecosystem this year. I'm sure it will surpass it, but it's, Ethereum was already big. So comparing these two is like, comparing a well-established chain with an up and coming chain that's growing, extremely fast. So hard to compare the two. I know they will, they'll probably meet at some point in terms of growth because Ton has Telegram, which has the native users already built in over like a billion people. So Ton, can do big. This chart always makes me laugh. So Ton can do big things, and I'm sure it's going to. I'm sure it's going to catch up to Ethereum in terms of addresses. Doesn't mean it's going to catch up in terms of price. Right now, we're seeing this is what we've been talking about over the last few weeks, where Ton had this huge growth, and this was the addresses growing and the price growing. And then we've seen this huge distribution top, which we've now seen play out. I'm sure we might consolidate a little bit longer, but this isn't something that I want to necessarily buy until we come above this $5.13 range and can hold above it, because otherwise this is an underside retest. So this might head back down if we then reject from it. However, we are in a bit of a bullish environment now, so we could come back above. This is something that I would only want to get into if we break through and then hold above this line. So if we then come through, 513, we can hold above it. That's a great place to then potentially do a long, because then you can have an invalidation below this latest wick of $4.50, and you can target new highs if you want to, because we are going into a bullish time. But that's only something I would want to see if we were able to break through and then hold above this line, because otherwise we're most likely going to come up to this resistance here and break down and then just consolidate and chop for a little bit longer, because Ton hasn't been in the news as much right now. There's not a lot of talk about it. It's more so Sui, Aptos, Solana, other chains right now. So Ton's going to need something to come back, and I'm not sure it's quite there yet, but maybe in time. But yeah, that's it pretty much for the news today. It's a bit of a short day, if surprisingly, for how much price has gone up. There's not a whole lot of news today, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.